Are you sick and tired of feeling like PMDD and the luteal phase are hijacking your emotions and ruining your relationships? Well, last week we dove into pillar one to healing our attachment style and how attachment style and PMDD are related and influence our relationships. Pillar one was identifying and healing our core wounds, okay? And this week we're going to talk about pillar two, which is self validation. You don't want to miss this. Oftentimes, when we think of trauma, we think of things that happened to us that shouldn't have happened. But trauma is also things that did not happen that should have. And that is where neglect and attachment style play a role. So if as a child you felt ignored, neglected, like you didn't have safety, you weren't validated, you weren't accepted, you weren't loved, or any of those things that you felt like you were missing from your childhood, oftentimes when we get older, we inflict that same neglect on ourselves. Let me explain. So oftentimes we internalize it as those needs aren't important. We didn't get them growing up. We didn't need it. We didn't have it. So now we lack to provide that to ourselves. So if you didn't get reassurance as a kid, you don't know how to reassure yourself. If you didn't get validated as a child, you don't feel like you deserve validation. You're like, maybe my needs just aren't important. My feelings, I'm crazy. My feelings don't make sense. My desires, my needs don't make sense. They're unreasonable. Okay, because you learned that as a child. All right, so today we're really going to dive in on what the inner work is to learn how to begin to start self-validating. Step one is to really identify your unmet needs from childhood. So that could be validation, it could be reassurance, it was just maybe a feeling of safety, maybe a feeling of being included and loved and accepted. Maybe you felt like the outsider, okay? Or whatever those unmet needs are, I want you to get very detailed with that. Write those down. And think about, like, how did that make you feel? How is that translating into your life today? Related to your triggers, related to your attachment style. How is that really playing a role? Then you need to really look at, how am I trying to outsource this from others? What am I doing? What behaviors or seeking behaviors am I doing to try to outsource this from my environment, my other relationships and friendships and things like that? Even a job that you're trying to get validation from for doing this thing, okay? And look at how this is impacting different areas of your life and how you're trying to pressure getting that need met from other things outside of yourself. And after you kind of go through this with yourself, either through journaling or things like that, or just reflection and inner work meditation, then you really need to think about, what makes me feel safe? What makes me feel validated? What makes me feel reassured? Think of times in your life where you have felt validated, you have felt reassured. Okay, again, watch my last week's video about pillar one, and it'll give you even additional more work about this. Okay, these are all steps that need to be done in order to really get the best results. Okay, so do pillar one first. Now, pillar two is the self validation piece, and you want to go through this. All right, let me know how it works for you. And if you need additional resources on this, check out my 5 free journaling prompts that I personally use to uncover my unmet needs, or my subconscious wounds, I should say, my emotional blocks, limited beliefs. Okay, these are free journaling prompts. But to do that little bit of deeper inner work of, how do I actually reframe these? How do I actually start to do the work to, transmute these blocked emotions and these limited beliefs? That is my LifeBlocks Decoded Workbook. You want to check that out. It's literally only $7, guys, and this is going to help you actually reframe those beliefs once you uncover what they are. All right. Now, you might be thinking, like, okay, girl, I get it. That sounds great. But how do I validate myself and do these things if I've never had it before? I've never done it before. Think about it like driving a car, okay? You're not going to just hop in the driver's seat and zoom down the road, okay? At first, it's going to be a little more meticulous. I talk about this with everything, okay? When you're learning something new, when you're literally reprogramming your mind, it's gonna take a little intention, a lot of consistency, and you're gonna have to think about it at first, and it's gonna feel a little bit like, intensive at first. But just like driving a car, when you first get in, you're like, oh, let me check the rear view. What am I in park? Oh, I got my seatbelt. Let me fix the mirrors. Let me, what? Oh, do I get over? And all this, like, you're a little nervous at first, but then now you can just hop in the car. You got your music playing. You know what I mean. You doing what you do. So it's not you can do it more on the subconscious level now. And that's the same with anything else that you do. You have to do this at minimum 21 days. Studies have shown, okay? And you need to pair imagery, emotion, and emotion with this reframing, okay? You want to really think about times that you have felt validated and really picture that imagery, okay? Feel the emotion that it feels like to be validated, and also do what I said, validate yourself, reassure yourself, all right? And we're going to get into a couple of tips of how to do that with each attachment style, so do not leave. So with anxious attachment, you most of the time need a lot of reassurance. Like, oh, is he gonna leave? Is he, why is he not texting me back? Does he still think I'm pretty? Is he still in love with me? You need that reassurance like often, okay? And for example, maybe he didn't text back. You need to reassure yourself. You need to really sit there and do that self-talk. Does he normally call and text me? Yes, he's been consistent, okay? Think about that. This man is at work at this time, okay? Is it a time where he might be asleep? List the reasons that he could not be texting back within 4 minutes, besides he's cheating on you and he doesn't love you. Okay, really challenge that belief. You have to do it. It's uncomfortable. At first, you're going to fight it. Your brain's going to fight it and try to make you think that what you're feeling is the truth. But oftentimes these feelings that arise from past fears sometimes can be the truth, but you have to be the one to be able to be in control of your emotional regulation to say, is this fact? Is this feeling? And is this reality? Okay. And that might be tough to hear, but it's the truth. Now, with dismissive avoidance, you feel that your feelings are not safe. Feeling makes you weak. Feeling's going to get you manipulated, okay? Now, how you validate yourself is you tell yourself you're allowed to feel. If you're not feeling, then most likely you're not alive. So we want to feel, okay? Validate yourself like, I'm allowed to feel this. Feeling is safe. Let yourself know that you are allowed to have emotions, and having emotions makes you human. Let that emotion ride out for at least 90 seconds without letting it consume you. Most dismissives will try to immediately suppress any emotion and block it down. Let yourself feel it for at least 90 seconds. You can even set a timer, okay? Lastly is our fearful avoidant. You are hot and cold, and you want love, but then you're scared of love. You want it and you pull back. You need to hold your own hand throughout the chaos. You need to recognize your own pattern, step in and validate that you deserve love. You deserve to receive love, okay? Looking at your current situation and again, evaluating it from a third party perspective. Has this person manipulated you? Has this person been on and off with you or shown you that they're going to hurt you? Okay, you have to hold your hand through the chaos and let yourself know that you deserve love, and love does not always have to be scary. Okay, it is not your past situation. Work on these things, guys, and again, get my resources. I have free resources. I have other resources that can help walk you through these, and especially if you have PMDD and you're trying to improve your relationships, you want to know how your attachment style and PMDD are playing off of one another, okay? So check out my last video. Definitely reach out to me in the DMs if you want to know about some of my other resources. Join my free community. Just put community down in the comments. Again, DM me. Thank you guys for watching and engaging with me, and let me know more of what you want to see in these videos about PMDD and being able to live a life free of luteal phase chaos and one that you deserve. Thanks for watching again, guys. Bye.